Note 6.5, Part 1, Side 2. Classroom practice we'll do together. When we graph an inequality in slope-intercept form, we're going to graph the boundary line just like we would a regular slope-intercept line. We begin this one at 5, and it has a slope of sneaky 1. So it's up 1 to the right 1, up 1 to the right 1. Or if you want to be fancy, down 1 to the left 1. Now this boundary line, because it is a greater than, remember greater than or less than are dashed lines. So make sure you remember that when you're graphing. That means that any point on this line will make the inequality false. This is not part of the solution set. All right, so greater than, we're going to pick the test point 0, 0. 0, 0 is easy to substitute in. So 0 is greater than 0 plus 5. Is this a true or false statement? Well, 0 is not greater than 5, so this is false, which means that this point, 0, 0, is on the false side, and we must always shade the truth. So greater than will be shaded above. In number 2, we're going to graph the boundary line. Notice that this is a less than or equal to, which means that less than or equal to, greater than or equal to is a solid line like we are used to. Any point that will be on this boundary line will make this inequality true when substituted in. So this begins at 1 on the y-axis and has a slope of up 2 to the right 1, up 2 to the right 1. Draw your boundary line. Now this separates the two half planes. One side will be true, one side will be false. We're going to use the test point 0, 0. You can always use 0, 0 as long as it is not part of the boundary line. So let's substitute 0 in for y, less than or equal to 2 times 0, which is 0, plus 1. And then ask yourself, is 0 less than or equal to 1? That is true, which means that the 0, 0 point is true, and we always shade the side of the truth. Always throw shade on truth. In the third example, we're going to graph our boundary line. Notice that with a greater than or equal to, this will be a solid line. It will be included in the solution set. So we're going to begin this at -2, and it has a slope of sneaky 1 again. So up 1 to the right 1, up 1 to the right 1, or fancy, down 1 to the left 1, down 1 to the left 1. Draw your boundary line. 0, 0 is not on the line, so we can use that as our test point on which side is true and which side is false. So 0 is greater than or equal to 0 minus 2. So is 0 bigger than -2? Well, yes, it is. So this 0, 0 is true, and you always shade the truth. Please remember that this half plane represents that every single coordinate xy point on the shaded side and including the line, if you substitute into the linear inequality, will make a true statement. Any point on the unshaded side, if substituted into the x and y for this linear inequality, would make a false statement. Please proceed with the rest of the worksheet and check in with your teachers.